Are there too many estate agency gurus? Today I'm joined by Dan Marsden, an estate agency guru.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I thought I'd just throw that one in. Right, so come on then. What's all this estate agency guru bullshit then?
There's just a load of bollocks out there, isn't there? I mean, it's just there's a lot of noise, and look, it's not limited to agency. I mean, I see it all the
You
time.
said to me before you switched the cameras on, they're all there making a living off agents' laziness and desperation.
And fair play to them. You know, fair play to them. I'm not here to demonise people who make a living out of trying to sell the secret sauce to agents. That's their job, and if they're making money from
It's
that,
my job.
absolutely fair play. Absolutely fair play. If you look at it and you think, all right, I mean, I used to do this all the time. You get a supplier come to you and they say, we can do this thing. Let's say these people that I see all over the place, lead generation, or we do social media. Okay. And you ask those people, very simple question. Show me some numbers. What does the ROI look like? So if I put 1,500 quid in the slot machine, what do I get out? You know, I see it with some of the guys that do Google ads, very good at doing it. They'll say, look, this is how much it cost me per lead. This is what I got from it. I love that. That I can make an informed choice about how effective that tool is. If I've got somebody who says, I'm going to write this and it's going to do this, and they start talking about brand and everything else, look, brand is important, but ultimately the thing that's really important is keeping that business afloat and actually invoicing. You know, if you're not invoicing, you're dead in the water. So if you're spending money on gizmos and prop tech, and let's be honest, there's never been a better time to choose something that, you know, you've seen something and it looks amazing. But if you're not asking questions, and I think this is the point, Chris, you know, I'm not, you know, I just have my own opinion on things because I ask questions and because I'm well educated and I was taught by my parents to ask questions. And I don't think enough people ask questions when they see something on Facebook and somebody's saying, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this. Ask them to show you. In terms of pounds, shillings, and pence, what does it look like? Not what does the creative look like? What does a newsletter look like? What does a post? No one cares, right? The point is, and that's not true actually, but the point is, where's the return? You know, I know for a fact that where I am right now, probate.auction, I've got two bosses who understand ROI. I'm not going to say how much we're spending this year, but we're spending a lot of money on events this year because we know we're going to get ROI, and we can quantify that based on what we did last year. I know that if we spend £5,000 on an event, we're going to get a multiplier back. We know because we've done it. So that's, for me, that's proof. So if someone from an event comes to me and says, you know, we want you to spend £5,000 on it, what am I going to get for it? Apart from sticking my brand out there, great. You can't quantify that in terms of value anyway, necessary as it might be. But if I can't quantify it and I can't stick a line on a spreadsheet that's going to tell me how much I think I'm going to get back for that, it's kind of like...
Is that what you think makes a good guru? Shut, pardon a second. Where does it? You're talking about gurus. All of a sudden, then that's now moved into buying and selling stuff.
It is. Everyone's selling. Who in any industry is not always selling? You sell. I sell.
Most people don't actually know what I sell deliberately. I don't push it too much.
This is true, but maybe you're
Probably at my own detriment, actually.
Yeah, but I do see. Look, I do see, and it's not.
I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying that I turn it down.
You're just a bit more subtle. But the point of it is, I think, and it's not limited to this industry. You know, my Instagram feed, my Facebook feed, the LinkedIn ads that come through are trying to sell me the shiny, you know, the silver bullet. And it might be lead gen, it might be whatever it is, you know, e-commerce, it could be anything. In the estate agency industry, I am seeing more and more people who I've never heard of appearing on my feed with very little experience. When you actually look at their profile and you see what actual experience they've got, selling me something that they say is going to transform a business. And it probably wouldn't take you too many questions. And I've done it. I've spoken to these people. You ask them 3 or 4 direct questions. There are no real answers. And I think there's a danger in a market that is increasingly difficult. And it is really difficult out there at the moment. The temptation is for agents to invest, or anybody in a business to invest in something expecting that it's going to save them. And it's not. And I think this is where it's really important to either talk to people who've used it and get those numbers, How much money did you spend on it? How much did you get back? So well, I've spent about £5 so far, and if I bugger all back for it, well, I'll steer clear of that then. But I think this is where you've got to lean on people you respect, people that you know about this stuff. You know, if I'm talking about prop tech, am I going to talk to somebody who sells prop tech? No, I'm going to talk to somebody who's used it. Or I'm going to talk to somebody who knows more than I do about it. But there are too many people out there at the moment, I think, on LinkedIn especially, doing videos. There's people selling mindset. You know, they're selling all sorts of stuff, and I just think there's enough for people to worry about running a business. Why don't you learn some skills? It's the whole teach a man to fish. Teach a man to fish. You know, that's far more valuable than I think sometimes paying for a solution that won't necessarily save you.
What I do find interesting though is that even when you do tell people how to do it free of charge, they won't.
Well, that's that. I mean, you know as well. I just find that ridiculous.
I mean,
but
honestly, you know, my business is ghostwriting content on local property markets.
Yeah.
If someone texts me the word free stuff, I will send them all 50 videos on how to do it.
Yeah.
And free templates on articles they can write.
Yeah.
And because I know what the templates are, I can Google them.
Yeah.
I've sent it out over 3,000 times. I can count on them hands. These hands, the number of people actually used it.
And I find that insane. And if you were to look at my activity on LinkedIn in terms of what I've commented on, you will see that I will comment. If I see something that I think that actually looks really cool, you know, comment cool stuff at the bottom to get my free whatever it is. I do it all day. I find stuff, I'm like, yes, that's credible. I've seen it. But the people posting that stuff, 9 times out of 10, they're referring to that ROI. They're saying, I did this and I generated this many meetings. I did this and I did this. They're quantified. They're actually, I can see it. And I trust numbers. I do. Not all numbers, obviously. But if I've got something that I look at it and I think, you know what, that makes complete sense. I want to bring that to our business. I'll look at it. And if after watching it, I think, no, it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Then I'll park it. But if someone's offering a resource for free and you don't, you know, I don't know how many videos you've made over the years, but probably thousands and thousands and thousands. And I know you did the playlists and stuff, you know, if you're a new agent, watch it. If you're not watching that and you're not taking advantage of that, then you're an idiot. It's as simple as that. And because in this world, everyone's saying you don't have to buy half this stuff. If you've got someone who's worked with agents for decades saying, just have a look at this stuff, it's free, or here's my mobile number, I'm usually free at 7:30 in the morning, phone for a chat. If you're not phoning for a chat, then you are an idiot.
No one ever rings.
That's crazy.
Thank you for your time today, Dan.
It's been an absolute pleasure.